For decades, the United States has represented a beacon of hope, attracting many ambitious individuals to hubs like Denver, Colorado, seeking a brighter path. However, hidden under the city's lively facade exists a grim truth. Diligent households are falling into homelessness, their dreams shattered by a relentless economy. This disaster is not limited to Denver. It is a countrywide scar spreading into outskirts and rural areas equally. In this footage, we explore the painful reality of why citizens, even while dedicating their souls to constant labor, are compelled to inhabit their vehicles.
I'm sorry, I also have issues with mental health. I suffer from depression and anxiety, and that contributes to my homelessness too. But hopefully America will wake up. Yeah.
We will focus on those most impacted, particularly elders who have served their nation, only to find a structure that has abandoned them. Post your views in the responses. What does the American dream signify to you now, given everything you have witnessed and endured? The scale of the crisis, a human tragedy beyond the numbers. Being homeless in America, specifically in Denver, serves as a chilling alarm for the whole country. During one evening in January 2024, the Department of Housing and Urban Development tracked 18 715 Coloradans lacking a residence comprising 8519 households, an incredible 134% spike in domestic displacement relative to prior periods. Metro Denver's 2023 point-in-time census identified 9,065 unhoused people, rising roughly 32% from 2022, with newly displaced populations increasing rapidly. Most agonizingly, over 23,000 pupils throughout Colorado lacked secure residency in 2024, several resting in shelters, autos, or beneath overpasses. Still, even these shocking tallies hardly expose the real breadth of this catastrophe. Support records indicate that perhaps 30,000 residents in Denver requested assistance throughout the year, implying the true total of individuals facing displacement might be multiple times larger than formal tallies. These are not merely data points, they are human existences collapsing. Youth huddled in temporary sites, their prospects paused before they have started. Retirees who have labored their whole careers are now compelled to rest in asphalt lots. Households balancing on the brink, ruined by one surgical invoice or employment termination.
So we need houses that are low income for people that would be rented to them according to their income. That's the 0 to 30%. Here in Denver, we have 23,000 houses that are empty, but they on the higher end, 60% and up.
The factors fueling this emergency are obvious. Leasing in Denver surged 8% in 2024, whereas the stock of budget residences stays dangerously sparse, only 34 spots accessible for every 100 poor households. Within this climate, 70% of low-wage tenants are spending above half their earnings on housing, leaving zero for crises, and making removal a perpetual danger. And this emergency is not restricted to the alleys of Denver. It is expanding into outskirts and country towns areas once considered protected from massive-scale displacement. For every individual openly existing without cover, infinite others are one salary or one bout of misfortune away from that destiny. The pressing inquiry is no longer merely how many are unhoused. It is how many of us are residing one stride from losing everything. And potentially, the most lingering mystery of all, what does it suggest about the society we have constructed when a secure spot to rest has turned into a luxury instead of a fundamental right? A fragile safety net, good intentions, gaping holes. Denver's strategies to address being homeless in America are constructed on a medley of mandates, partly creative, partly overlooked potential.
As you know, this will be now, our 8th site that will be opening across 5 council districts as a part of our House 1000 effort that we have now dubbed All In Mile High as part of our ongoing effort.
Mayor Mike Johnston's All In Mile High project has demonstrated what specific effort may achieve relocating 169 folks inside during 2024 and establishing its goals on preferring lasting residences over fleeting remedies in 2025. The project's almost total victory in sheltering Denver's 52 unhoused ex-soldiers by late 2024 demonstrates that concentrated assets can produce outcomes. Fresh projects like a neighbourhood for solo guardians launched in May 2025, and the refreshed Renewal Village provide sparks of optimism, though they hardly match the level of necessity. Various moves toward transparency have been made, such as dismissing a $3 million Salvation Army deal in March 2025, regarding security worries, substituting it with monthly facility audits and improved worker coaching. Yet, structural holes endure. The validated Housing First framework, which merges dwellings with psychiatric wellness and recovery aid, has a 98% victory frequency in keeping folks sheltered. Still, far too few can reach this lifeline, with merely a portion of qualified residents obtaining national coupons like Section 8. Budget dwellings stay rare, and with Colorado meeting a deficit of nearly 70,000 apartments, the safety web feels more like a wire one slip-up can push a household into disaster. Collaboration among bureaus frequently stumbles, especially during crises, abandoning elders, impaired persons, and striving households in uncertainty. Simultaneously, Denver's homelessness outlays reaching into hundreds of millions each year meet disapproval for wastefulness, as pricey short-term fixes like motel transformations shift assets from constructing lasting housing. The aims are present, but they cannot span the void between the crushing requirement and the present situation. When structures collapse, it is the most defenseless who hurt retirees on set checks. Guardians attempting to shield their kids and persons fighting dependency or mental sickness. The inquiry stays when the safety web begins to fray who pays the price, and why is not more being performed to fix it? The most vulnerable, carrying the heaviest burden. In Denver, being homeless in America strikes without pity, but its harshest impact hits the most delicate, particularly retirees. The aged many subsisting on tiny Social Security payments encounter a brutal world where surging leases swallow their set earnings. For them, displacement isn't merely difficulty, it is a lethal verdict. On the pavement, lasting ailments like diabetes or cardiac issues escalate uncontrollably, and mental fading accelerates, transforming decades of well-won knowledge into a battle for endurance. In a merciless market, elders over 50 are left exposed with mortality speeds much higher than their sheltered equals a grim signal of a structure that has discarded its seniors. Still, retirees are not alone in this conflict. Households with kids, frequently newcomers escaping hopeless conditions, reach Denver only to encounter a residence industry that shuts them out. Black and Indigenous groups experience unequal suffering, a heritage of structural hurdles like redlining and biased borrowing that have obstructed asset growth for eras. Victims of household cruelty face a painful selection, tolerate violence or gamble on the alleys where refuges are frequently packed. LGBTQ+ teens spurned by kin and emerging adults leaving state care also expand the lines robbed of the safety webs others assume are guaranteed. Every collective fights a framework that appears tilted against them. Elders nonetheless meet distinct barriers. Many want the vigour or digital talents to manage employment hunts or web-based help portals, leaving them marooned in a society constructed for the youthful and healthy. Bereaved or alienated, they frequently have nobody to consult, no relatives, no support net. Schemes intended for senior dwellings like Section 202 are terribly under-resourced, providing a tiny collection of spots despite urgent demand. For retirees of colour, structural prejudice intensifies the agony, as past inequities leave them with fewer assets to endure fiscal tempests. This emergency reveals a stinging fact. Displacement isn't an individual mistake, but a collective abandonment, where one bout of misfortune, a sickness and ousting, can sink anyone into gloom. When humanity allows its most helpless fall through the gaps, what does that reveal about our principles? The roots of the crisis, a system stacked against the vulnerable. To comprehend the crisis of being homeless in America, we must dismantle the fables citing individual flaws like sloth. In Denver, the real offender is a severe lack of low-cost housing that transforms the American dream into a mean mirage. Lease for a simple flat vastly exceeds what most employees, particularly those making baseline pay, can manage. This results in poor tenants funneling past half their wages into rent. With zero security for life's certain hurdles, a quick sickness, a vehicle fix or a post-loss can spark removal in just weeks. Even median wage earners, formerly icons of steadiness, now see themselves caught as lifelong renters one catastrophe away from the pavement. Structural collapses stoke this fragility. National housing grants assist only a portion of those requiring help, abandoning millions to handle a sector biased against them. Psychiatric wellness and recovery programs crucial for many unhoused people are perpetually underfinanced, providing temporary patches when holistic treatment is vital. Past inequities redlining biased financing have stripped sidelined neighbourhoods of capital building chances, leaving them vulnerable to fiscal blows. Private disasters like household aggression or kinship splits frequently provide the last shove into displacement. Awe-struckingly, many unhoused folks keep occupations toiling hard, yet incapable of funding a residence, a grim witness to a faulty framework. Civic rifts only intensify the disaster. Denver's refuge municipality rules now under national investigation as of May 2020 attract travellers who crowd local havens' taxing assets. Meanwhile, clashing tactics, Denver's Housing First strategy, which stresses lodging without prerequisites against nearby Aurora's Job First mindset, bypass the central matter, a residence industry that rejects millions. The reality is certain: most unhoused people don't select this existence. They are trapped in a structure that refuses them an honest shot. From biased mandates to insufficient aid, the hurdles are structural, not individual. This emergency necessitates we peer past fault and challenge the foundations that sustain it. What obstacles in your neighbourhood have you witnessed driving folks toward displacement, and who is holding the structure responsible? Government response ambitious efforts, uneven results. Denver has directed substantial assets toward addressing homelessness. Yet, the results trigger more inquiries than solutions. Mayor Mike Johnston's all-in-mile-high strategy has exhibited potential shifting thousands into cover and emphasising lasting residence answers for 2025. The project's triumph with ex-soldiers stands out with almost all unhoused veterans in Denver sheltered by late 2024, a proof of what specific endeavours can accomplish. Creative ventures like a fresh neighbourhood for lone parents and the rebuilt Renewal Village provide sparks of optimism, but they fall vastly short of fulfilling the crushing necessity. In early 2025, the municipality made a stand by dismissing a troubled deal with a large refugee supplier regarding safety issues, pledging to harsher audits and superior worker schooling, a step toward transparency. Nonetheless, these endeavours are weakened by structural wastefulness. The Housing First framework, which links lodging with psychiatric care and recovery help, proves very successful, keeping most members steadily sheltered. Yet, it reaches merely a tiny segment of those requiring it due to restricted financing. National residence grants like Section 8 are likewise rare, leaving infinite households vulnerable to a heartless industry. Collaboration among departments HUD-FEMA and Health and Human Services stays fragmented, particularly during emergencies squandering valuable assets. A late study revealed Denver's difficulty to monitor its huge outlays on displacement, fueling skepticism about whether capital is being utilised efficiently. Fleeting remedies like pricey motel adaptations deplete funds that could construct permanent residences. Civic stalemate further muddles advancement. A 2025 national litigation challenging Denver's refuge city mandates endangers aid for immigrant households who've caused a steep climb in being homeless in America. Disputes over clashing methods. Housing. First against job-first frameworks shift attention from the heart matter, a residence deficit that excludes millions. Despite heavy funding, the inquiry remains. If so much is used on helping the homeless in America, why are the alleys still occupied by those requiring aid? Denver's actions exhibit promise, but without superior alignment clarity and a dedication to lasting fixes, the emergency continues abandoning weak groups to suffer the results of a structure that vows plenty, but provides sporadically. A path forward. Bold solutions for a systemic crisis. Resolving the issue of being homeless in America requires fundamental shifts, not temporary patches. Initially, the municipality must massively grow budget-friendly housing. Fully bankrolling initiatives like Section 8 and Section 202 to protect 100% of poor households akin to SNAP for nutritional aid is vital. Increasing the baseline pay to $20 would match Denver's living expenses, providing labourers a fighting opportunity. Expanding housing. First, with comprehensive aids for psychiatric health recovery and vocation coaching is essential. Its 90% triumph frequency demonstrates its worth. Neighbourhood-level fixes are similarly crucial. A protective scheme like California's HomeSafe, providing fiscal help and case oversight to vulnerable retirees, could be revolutionary. Fair housing mandates prohibiting prejudice against coupon users would unlock more pathways. For immigrants, dedicated residence and vocation projects could lighten the load on regional frameworks. Public awareness drives, like the St. Francis Centre's creative venture with formerly unhoused citizens, can diminish bias and gather aid. Creative financing frameworks, such as taxing extra residences or utilising public-private alliances, could fill the 70,000-unit residence void in Colorado. This is not merely about mandate. It is about shared determination to regard housing as a human entitlement. For citizens, avoidance is central. Creating a crisis fund covering 3 to 6 months of bills, pursuing budget housing early, and aiding regional havens like the Denver Rescue Mission can produce a change. Support matters as well. Backing contenders who advocate for residents and social reforms can turn the tide. Denver's destiny hinges on whether we see displacement as a fixable issue or an unavoidable misfortune. Expanding Housing First and grants could slash displacement by 25% by 2027, according to the US Interagency Council on Homelessness. The inquiry is whether we will behave before the emergency worsens. Denver's future, a crossroads of hope and despair. Without purposeful behaviour, Denver's displacement emergency risks intensifying, with specialists cautioning of a major climb by 2030, specifically ruining retirees and households, as leases peak and budget dwellings vanish. Colorado's huge residence deficit will not fix itself, and civic battles over immigrant rules and clashing tactics. Housing First against Job First frameworks gamble on widening the gap. Still, sparks of hope endure. The nearly complete removal of veteran displacement in Denver demonstrates what is feasible when assets and concentration match. Growing validated plans like Housing First, which merges residents with holistic aid, could alter infinite existences. But it necessitates brave civic determination and steady public dedication to value housing as an entitlement. For citizens, every deed matters. Contributing to collectives like the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless Aiding at Regional Havens or supporting residents' improvements can trigger significant change. These minor actions generate ripple impacts, challenging the frameworks that sustain displacement. Countrywide, the emergency is a sharp summons for behaviour. With millions of citizens residing in vehicles and low-wage tenants, merely one missed salary from removal being homeless in America is not a faraway issue, but a national crisis necessitating rapid reaction. Denver's destiny rests in the balance. Will it turn into a municipality where nobody rests on the alleys, or one where misery surmounts optimism? The solution exists in our shared determination to behave. What will you perform to ensure nobody in your neighbourhood encounters the alleys alone? By aiding mandates that fill the residence void and supporting bosses who value remedies, we can guide Denver and the country toward a destiny where the American dream is reachable for everyone, not merely a favoured few. A call to action reclaiming the American dream. The displacement emergency in Denver is a caution that the American dream is sliding away for millions. It is not merely about figures. It is about existences, kids, retirees, households caught in a framework that deserts them. This disaster necessitates more than pity. It demands effort. Dismantle the bias that faults the unhoused for their struggle. Most are casualties of structural collapses, not individual defects. Aid agencies like the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless advocate for mandates that treat residency as an entitlement and select bosses who will bridge the housing void. Circulate this footage, ignite dialogues, and insist on transparency from those in authority. Combined, we can construct a Denver and an America where nobody rests beneath a bridge or within a vehicle. The American dream is not deceased, but it is on life support. Shall we restore it or permit it to vanish into the darkness? Share your concepts in the responses, and let us make certain nobody is left behind.